Blessings, beloved ones, Inanna Rakma. I'm making this second video about my experience in the Darkroom retreat here in Bali because I got cut off because I didn't pay much attention to the Instagram limits of 15 minutes in the first, and secondly because it's actually been a week that I came out today. So I wanted to share with you more of my takeaways because only one came out, though it was a very, very important one. And the other thing is I wanted to share about the integration process and my process of actually coming out, given that I followed my own heart's guidance and did my own kind of exit due to circumstances beyond my control. Spirit had them under control. So yeah, I think if I go back to that last morning where I was actually, feeling amazing being in there, and I had a massive annihilation of my ego. And I was feeling great, thinking, oh, I could stay in here for like a couple of days, an extra couple of days. I wonder if I could. Then the next thought that came in was you need to get out. And then I checked with my pendulum. And then from there, it was, you need the light. You need the light. So yeah, so the way that you get fed in there is there's quite a big box that on the outside they put your food in, and then they ring a bell, and on the inside you get to retrieve your food from there, obviously while they're not there. And then you write these notes. You've got a little notepad. Oh my God, S, I would love to see those notes, just to see what the writing looked like. I mean, I do have writing that I wrote in there, and some of it's pretty good, but others I've written all over the writing and I just cannot decipher what it was that I was trying to say. So yeah, after that decision was made, I wrote a note and said I really need to get out. At lunchtime, when the lunch was served, I still hadn't heard anything, and I think, goodness knows, you can't tell the time in there, obviously, because it's just completely black. However, I did decipher that in the mornings, you can hear the harsh crow of the rooster. My God, it's so harsh. I'm actually a rooster in Chinese astrology. Is that really what I sound like? Anyway, you hear the harsh crow, and then you hear the beautiful chirp of all the little baby birds, all the little tiny birds. Their sweet, sweet song. It's so sweet. And that kind of lets you know that it's morning time. So I knew that lunch had been served, and you deliberately are not told what time breakfast is going to be served, what time lunch, what time dinner, so that you aren't keeping track of time, obviously. So lunch was served, and I had no idea whether that was the same time every day, whether they were mixing it up, what they were doing. And I mean, the mind is going to play mental gymnastics with that kind of thing. So anyway, lunch was served, and I reiterated, and a little bit sometime later than that, Gede, who is the helper, came to the back and was talking to me and just said that basically Tuli wasn't there, and she would come and see me this evening. And I'm like, no, I need to get out now. I can't actually stay here tonight. And then I didn't hear anything, like nothing actually happened. So I was just like, okay, well, what do I do? And I sat with it, and then I decided, I'm not going to wait until this evening. I actually really need to get out now from a health perspective. So I lit a candle, kept my eyes closed, and stood a large distance away from that, because you haven't been in light for like 48 hours pretty much. I was just checking it, yeah, 48 hours. You know, your light, your eyes need to become desensitized to light once more. So, yeah, that was a really slow process of doing that. And then from there, I gently, slowly, because it's just a Balinese door, it's not locked from the outside, it's locked from the inside. It's funny, my son said to me, Mum, it sounds like you just did a voluntary prison experiment. Oh my goodness. And it probably was, because I was exploring the prison of my own mind. And so, yeah, from there, I unlocked the door, gently started to open it. There's thick PVC or something like that on the outside that they take down, and so I just started gently pushing on that to see what the light was like, and I could see that the light was actually quite soft, so it was later afternoon. And yeah, just started to gently, slowly acclimatize my eyes to that light, and then just, yeah, as a very slow process, made my way out. And G'day that was building the fire, they do beautiful nightly fires to keep the fires within our hearts burning brightly. And so he was building that and building the beautiful flower mandala around it. And then he saw me, and so I wanted my phone because I didn't have any way of organising where I was going to stay. And I also wanted to do Agnihotra, and I need the phone in order to know the exact time. He didn't have my phone, and his English isn't so good. And he was like, oh, Tool, you'll be back in an hour and a half. So I just did Agni at what I thought was sunset and sat there waiting by the fire, and then Tuli came and she helped me to organise my next accommodation, which was where I'd been staying prior to for the past week, and that was fantastic because she spoke to them, and when I went there all of the lights were dim and it was beautiful. So yeah, I had like 7.5 hours sleep that night, which is actually pretty good for me because I'm not sure whether it's part of this whole menopause thing, and my sleep, I tend to wake up a few times a night. So yeah, I had that beautiful deep sleep, and then the next morning I got up early and I went to the shop. I was walking to the shop, and as I was walking to the shop, I was just overawed. The colours were just, you know, the greens of the plants and the vibrant colours of the flowers, you know, they were just incredible. And it was like they were, it's even more than third dimension. Like they were thicker and richer and more, yeah, they were just more vibrant. So that was so beautiful. And yeah, I just, like, my eyes were quite sensitive to light, and I, for a few days, like, couldn't have harsh light, and only really, sadly, in the last couple of days have I actually been able to spend any real time on the screen because it was just way too much. So yeah, I mean, my takeaways are, well, obviously around the spiritual ego and not having to prove anything to anyone else, and following my own heart light's mastery. And the other thing that I have noticed over the past week is the depth of creativity that I'm accessing is just phenomenal. It's just, and the wisdom I feel I'm accessing as well just feels to have such greater depth, as well as my intuition, my psychic guidance is actually, I've noticed that that's gone up a notch or two as well. I had an incredible dream the first night that I arrived in this beautiful new destination that I'm staying in, and it was one of those astral dreams, and yeah, there was an entity that came into my room, and it was right next to me, and it said to me, "Hello, lonely woman," and then I with that, and it was making all those snotty, sniffing sounding noises, and then as a result of that, like, I was full of fear, and I jumped back into my body. Prior to that, I was just witnessing that from above, and as a result, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, and when I said that, it all disappeared. It was banished. Hopefully it went back towards the light, and then I turned the lights on and gave the room a really good smudge. And yeah, I mean, Tuli's been amazing with her support afterwards, and she was like, yeah, it could have been a parasite that was clearing. I mean, I was wondering whether I was actually clearing something from the land here. So fascinating. And yeah, I guess, would I do it again? I think, if I had Johnny in that room next door, or someone whose energy I knew really well and my system could drop, and I didn't go in unwell, that got compounded, yeah, I think I probably would. I think I definitely would. I feel like through this integration process, more and more is unraveling, and I have so much gratitude for this work that Tuli and No Man and G'day are offering. They're incredible. Yeah, for me, I just needed a bit more water. I drink so much water, I never really realise it. And yeah, definitely as a projector, it was a bit much for my system, given what I'd just been through, and probably in any normal circumstance too. So there you have it. You have my dark room retreat story. Up until now, this is my own personal experience. I'm sure other people have had other experiences, and that was mine. So thanks for watching the whole way through. Inanna Rakma, ancient Aramaic for there is only love.